So, hi everyone. Today we're gonna have an AMA session with a user project. My name is Yuri. I'm presenting the Let's Know team, and today our guest is Eunika. She's co-founder of the project, user project, and as well as CEO. And welcome everyone. Eunika, could you
Hi,
please
Yuri.
introduce yourself?
Thank you so
Hi.
much for having me your AMA. I'm looking forward to answering the community questions, and I've never used Crowdcast, so it's exciting to be in this new platform and just seeing what's happening. I'm looking forward to our chat.
Thank you very much. We are also looking forward to you. So, yeah, could you please tell me the idea of the company creation, how it comes to your head? And if you're a co-founder, probably there is another founder as well. So please, it would be
Yeah.
cool to hear.
So just to start from the beginning of user, me and the other co-founders. So there's two other co-founders. One is Tom, which a lot of you might know. He's very engaged with the kind of day-to-day stuff. He's also the CTO as well of the company. And then there's another co-founder. His name is Mitch. He's kind of more on the investment side / sort of advisory role. But you can always find him in Discord as well. So we started this company a couple of years ago because I first actually started working for Tom with his previous company, which was called PMF Entertainment. And it was a website not unlike something like BuzzFeed that would just aggregate all sorts of like listicles, interesting internet stuff, and we would drive millions of hits to the website just for benefits of advertising, right? So we worked with influencers, ginormous influencers with like 10 million, 20 million followers on Facebook at the time. And we would drive, this huge traffic to our website. We were kind of at like the tail end of that entire heyday where you could actually do that. And what we've seen happen is that Facebook started making changes to the way the entire system worked, and we weren't able to make revenue from advertising. And because we were there sort of seeing these changes happen, and we were just starting our company, it really hit our bottom line, and we couldn't figure out like why other companies could do this, but we couldn't. So we came to the conclusion that Facebook was basically disallow publishers from the platform. And that was about October of 2017. And as you might know, that's exactly what happened in 2018 in the beginning. And we kind of got out of that game before, but I remember, it was January 2018 and we were getting messages from all these influencers that all of a sudden got fired because they couldn't make a living doing what they were doing, which is sharing traffic on social media via their ginormous Facebook pages. And these Facebook pages, they were run by big teams. Like if you have a page with 20 million followers, it's not like one person running it, right? So it's usually like an entire team, and that's their livelihood. So it was for us, it was crazy that one company could do that just by making literally adding one line to their terms and conditions. They put thousands of people out of jobs, and probably even more than that because of how global platform they have, right? So everybody kind of concedes with that. Everybody's like, yeah, this is their platform, this is their rules, they can do that. We don't think so. We think that the platforms, the social platforms, they should serve people and that they should have the community in mind. And I reject the idea that you use social media just to connect with others. Well, you use social media also to conduct business. And if platforms are there just to take the bulk of the proceeds and just fuel their own growth without thinking about what's distributed back to the community, then that I don't think that's in any way fair. And what we've seen happen with the rise of the blockchain cryptocurrency projects is that those things are starting to become possible. So this is why we wanted to create our own app, our own platform that allows people to share the monetization opportunities with the founders of the platform, which is us. So instead of doing something like selling advertising space, we think that the social platforms, they should be designed in a way to connect the influencers that are on those platforms with those who need the advertising boost and facilitate those transactions. And then we as a company who facilitates that engagement, is able to collect some of those transaction fees. So that was the whole kind of like seed of the idea that, way back in 2017, we thought about, and then we've seen, what happened with CryptoKitties. We saw what started happening with NFTs way before they were even called NFTs. Everybody just was like non-fungible tokens, and that was a handful, and like people were like, what are you talking about? So, we've seen that kind of the seed of that starting to happen back then. And we thought we have to be in this space. It's very exciting. It's going to provide so many opportunities for newcomers into the tech space. And we wanted to be a part of it.
Cool. So you were just really from the beginning on the NFT wave. Cool. And how you came to the idea of your name? Eunika, you have some...
So User, we were brainstorming with the team at the time, trying to figure out.
Everything is fine. We have to. I'm just fixing some. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix some technical issue.
Okay.
We lost your video, Eunika.
Can you see me?
Not really, guys who watching us. Please write in the comment if you see Eunika.
Yeah, because I see that my camera is working here. I don't have any notification that's not working.
Okay. Everything is good. Okay, yeah. Very nice.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
When it's my problem.
No.
Sorry.
No, I saw something happen, but yeah, I think it's good.
Fine. So idea of the name. Yep.
Idea for the name. We were just brainstorming and trying to figure out what we should call our platform. And the platform, people try to say it a little bit differently, but it's user, like the way you would say a user of an application. Mm-hmm. But we added Y in the beginning of it because it's for you, the user. But it's not like Y user or anything like this, but Y is just to signify you. So it's for you, the user.
So you user. Okay, cool. Cool. And super. And what about the office? Where's your main office? And how you guys working?
We're located in Canada, in a place that's very close to Toronto. It's called London, Ontario. And we actually had offices, very, very cool office. Downtown. It was part of the startup accelerator here called the Roundhouse. So we were there for quite a while before the pandemic. And then, we started working from home. So what you see is my house now.
Well,
yeah, so I'm
your
at home.
office.
Yeah, this is my office right now. But yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to kind of coming back in the office, maybe in the new year. Entertaining the possibilities. We were working in a kind of co-working space. So it was pretty cool to have access to all these other tech companies that were working with us. And, it's always nice to kind of be able to brainstorm ideas, and people are kind of in the same boat because they're also starting their companies. So we really like that vibe. But, a lot of people are still very careful about coming back to work. So then even though at some points we went back to the office, there was nobody there. So it kind of defeats the purpose almost. But we're looking forward to kind of hopefully, setting up a new office space in the new year. That'd be great. Okay. I would love that.
I would love that. Okay, great. Look, what I was reading yesterday in the announcement that you are guys moving somewhere in Miami. And I know that there is a cool event, NFT event, I thought, but now when I was reading about the event, it's not just on the NFT. Can you please tell what's going on? What will you do there? And maybe we can.
Yeah, this is just came out. So we were considering. I was actually invited to be one of the speakers at the Central Conference. It's happening from the 30th of November to the 1st of December. So it's going to be a huge kind of like a DeFi NFT conference. They'll cover various different topics. It's not just for NFTs. Now there's blockchain is going to be there. I know that Akala is going to be there. So I'm looking forward to connecting with some other people who are also in the Polkadot ecosystem. I think that'd be great. Just to meet them in person, say hi. Congratulations for winning the first parachain spot, things like that. But there's also going to be a lot of very exciting NFT projects. I've seen that one of the speakers is also one of the founder of World of Women NFT as well, one of the biggest NFT collections out there. So there's going to be a lot of very, very exciting people. I've seen that. I think Joseph Lubin is also announced to speak from Consensus. So a lot of very exciting speakers, and I'm looking forward to being one of them at that particular event. However, this is just one of so many different ones that are happening around that time. Right now, all I can say is that we are probably going to be bouncing between 5 to 8 different events, and we have some very exciting things that are going to be happening, including more sort of representation for the user team. We're also bringing artists with us who's going to do a live show at one of the events. So that's going to be really, really cool. I started, I was scheduled to appear at like one conference. Now I already have 3 speaking engagements. So these things keep adding up. And there is some that I'm still in the process of confirming this with some major influencers. So I think this will really raise the profile of user next gems and everything that we're doing. So we'll be talking a lot more about various details. What's happening in Miami in the coming days, and we'll be making announcements, but I think this is going to be really exciting for the user community.
Really cool. Look, probably you have, what's the name of the conference? Can you please tell me?
The Central Conference in Miami, I think the website is centralcon.com. I think that's the website, the link. But there is a NFT Basel as well that's happening. And that we're also going to be at. And there is NFT Basel, but it's spelled in a different way. So there's 2 conferences that are like, they almost have the same name, but they're spelled differently. So
I will just put the link, probably I find out.
Yeah, I wonder if I have, so there is one that's happening. This one is, let me just, okay. So this is the other link. I actually have the links open. So this is NFT Basel. And this is the other NFT Basel. If you guys want to check it out. So we're, as you can see, it's spelled differently. So we're looking into these various different events. There's obviously a lot of different satellite events as well happening. So there's a lot of fireside chats about, and different kind of like after parties and different events that are happening around the entire conference. I think somebody put a very useful sort of overview spreadsheet about all these different events. I don't have a link right now, but it like linked like 50 different events.
Yeah, well, that's probably we can. You will.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but Art Basel is one of the biggest art shows in the world. Okay. And right now, because NFTs are so big, kind of the tech space joined and tagged on a bunch of NFT cryptocurrencies related stuff to that event, which normally gathers about 80,000 people from all over. So right now it's predicted to be even bigger. And there's a lot of like major players that are going to be in Miami at the time. So I'm very excited that we are able to participate as well.
Super. Look, I wish you all the best on this conference. And
thank you.
Yep. Probably guys, if you can join and you can go to the conference and do it. It looks like probably would be the biggest NFT DeFi conference for this year. So let's slightly move to the project. We know that the project, well, that's what you are doing. Your product consists of several applications, right? So it's mobile apps for Android and iOS. And additionally, you have the web application. But let's start with the mobile apps, okay? What is this and for whom it's made? Exactly this the mobile apps.
For sure. So right now I'm just going to preface this with saying that right now there's a little bit of a discrepancy with the functionality of the web app and the mobile app. And that's mostly because the web app is very new. We still, like it says right across the top, that it's still in beta. We've been adding different functionalities to it, but it still doesn't have all the same functionality that you can have in the mobile application. When we conceived the user, we thought about who is our key audience. They're young people who want to basically take advantage of the cryptocurrency market and be able to, sell their artwork or sell their content or create all sorts of different, videos, visual content, music. And be able to monetize that in a way that they couldn't before. A lot of this stuff right now is happening via social media. So we wanted to make sure that we created a mobile application first, so that we've had something that, you know, everybody has in their pocket. This is our way of communication right now. This is what we use, and we don't think that having a social network that's not a mobile app at the same time is that useful for people. You kind of have to be in that app space. However, there's a certain key sort of complications when it comes to mobile apps and connecting to the blockchain.
Can imagine, yeah. There is
Yes.
no Web3 solutions on the mobile.
Yes,
app
it's
for now,
it's
so you
very, very hard, as you know, and I'm sure a lot of people here realize things like simple things that, you know, you have a little MetaMask Fox right there looking at me, right? I have a MetaMask mobile app. Currently, we have not been able to find an easy way to connect the two apps, for example, if we wanted to use it. We can create our own wallet, but then we have to use Wallet Connect. We have to create our own wallet standard. There's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
And then you're also asking people to have another wallet, which a lot of people who are already in this space, we're trying to be mindful of what's useful for them. They're used to MetaMask. And this is, you know, that's also the reason why, for example, Moonbeam team, I personally think, anyway, just kind of looking at how Moonriver works, they wanted to make sure that it was available through MetaMask, because this is something that people are already used to. They know how to navigate that interface.
Yes.
So having that EVM compatibility is important for the existing ecosystem. And, you know, I'm sure as it kind of grows and evolves, there's going to be other things that are going to be making it easier. However, right now, we had to kind of also develop a web app, essentially, so that people can use MetaMask connection, and they can do some of these Web3 stuff through a desktop. So that's why there is a little bit of a discrepancy between the functions. There's one thing that I add. A lot of people know that. If you are selling digital assets through a mobile application, Apple and Google can charge about 30% of that. And this is why major platforms, like, for example, Spotify, you will never find in a Spotify application how to pay for subscription. They're not allowed to even advertise that. Right now in the US, there's currently a lawsuit against Apple for that precise reason. And some of these things might change soon. However, still, for us to try to sell NFTs through a mobile application,
they will ask for you to pay
Yes.
30% of the deal.
So we have to navigate these worlds, right? But we think it would be still very useful for people to be able to make an auction through our web app and then monitor it on their phone, right? Like wherever they are.
So, Eunika, can I ask you, please, because I know that to join your application, you have to have the invitation link, right? Can you please post it to our chat that the people who will watch in this video in the future also can join your app?
Sure. So I'll post the link that we're using right now. I'm not sure for how long it is going to be valid, because those links have expired. They just, you guys know.
Okay, so if this is expired, guys, please just go to the Discord of the project. You will find either on my channel user, or you just go and search in the Google user. Now I will post the user website, so from there you can also navigate and find the Discord and all other social.
I can also share the link to our Discord, perhaps.
Thank you very much.
That would be good, I think.
So how that works, guys, you just join through the link, downloading the app, install it on your phone. Then you have to authorize and make an account through the, for example, existing platform like a Google or Facebook. And then you go to your user web application, for example, in the browser, or even on the browser. And then you can log in into your account and connect the MetaMask there.
Yes.
So this is how it works, and
so currently there is no sign up through the web app, because it is still sort of relatively new. We still haven't developed that part, but we're looking forward to having that soon, because that would make it a lot simpler. Part of the reason why we're still an invite only, because we're still a relatively small project. We're a startup, and we want to make sure that we're able to handle kind of things that come our way in terms of volume of requests and being able to provide a good service to the community and, being able to, do things like this, just kind of having a conversation. And, we have a communication in Discord, people being able to submit bugs and letting us know what's happening. All of that stuff, when the volume of those requests increase, it's very hard to manage. And right now, our team is still relatively small, although we're looking forward to growing our team very soon just because of how much we've grown in the past few months.
But then now I feel myself unique because I have your app.
Yay!
Thank you.
User Squad.
And now I have a question from the community. Is how can you motivate other users to follow and be followed in the app? So is it possible to initiate a Discord thread or maybe Quest, like in Quest and app, to boost mutual subscriptions?
So there's a few different ways. So currently, when you make an account, the way it should work is that you should be seeing other people to follow, and it's based on like recommendations of other accounts that you follow, sort of like on other apps. So you can see that kind of displaying on your profile. So if you go navigate to other profiles, you should be able to see another bar unrolling, follow these accounts that might be relevant to what you're looking for. So that is one way that people have been finding each other. We've also had a chat in our Discord that was specifically for people sharing their profiles. So it was not, I don't know what it's called right now. Let me see.
So we have
share user profile. So there's a chat called share user profile, and part of the functionality of that chat was to make sure that people are sharing information about their accounts and to connect with each other. So I know that some people have been doing this, so that kind of has been there. Maybe a lot of people don't know about this, or a lot of people are not using it for that purpose.
I'm also in this part of users, and now I know it.
Thanks. Yeah. So it's just part of the issue is that our Discord is so big right now that we're still going through like trying to so this we don't need this, we need to archive this, we need to add this type of chat. So
but it's a lot of happens in the Discord, to be honest. It's
another thing that we've done a while ago, we had like a next gem follow next gem thread on Twitter as well. So we did that a while back after we did our giveaway. We should probably do something like that again, just kind of have everybody with the next gem avatar is following everybody else with next gem avatar. I think that'd be really cool. And then we can try to people can try to add their usernames or doing things like this. I think part of the issue is that you just kind of never know what's the best platform for these types of things. We have a lot of engaged usership in Discord and on Twitter. So we're just trying to kind of split some of these engagement pieces between the two and figure it out way. But I'm sure there could be other like initiatives, especially if they're started by the community, to boost their presence and like let people know what they're doing. I know that for me personally, when I see accounts that are creating like really cool art and things that I'm really into, then I always like I want to make sure that I'm following this person on user as well.
So cool. So even though this is application in test mode, you have a lot of the artists already there, right? So it's a lot of things happens in the app. Cool. Okay, look, we have another question because when I was navigating in the app, I was stick to looking for the really cool art, but then I've seen kind of stone on the right side of the screen. Could you please explain how to get stones and why do we need them in the app?
Sure. So the part of the reason why user is this the idea for user was kind of different than other existing social media is because we realized that anybody who's posting anything right off the bat should get rewarded for that contribution because they're creating something of value. And if community thinks that they should be able to reward them for it, then we should allow that. Yeah. So we've designed this system, we call it gem reward system, where instead of likes, people are able to give you gems and then you are able to kind of collect them. The system is a little bit more complicated than that. So basically you get a daily pool of what we call rocks. They're stored in your wallet, rocks. So those rocks are there just kind of as your fuel for gifting. So you can give them to multiple people a day. They will replenish based on your app usage every day.
Cool.
And then when you give them to other people, they kind of appreciate in value because you've given that person your attention. So your attention is the value. And on their end, when you give them, they receive gemstone. That gemstone is then stored in your wallet. And we've tested a bunch of ways of using your gemstones. One of the main ones that we've already piloted right before COVID, we've actually had local stores accepting gemstones as like people would do discounts or coupons in their stores. So here locally in London, we've had a bunch of stores that people could buy coffee, salad, soup, or they could get,
with the gems.
With the gems, yeah. So that entire functionality, unfortunately, because every store closed, there was no places to go. We had to pull it from the app because it was there. Like you could go in and buy yourself a coffee with just gemstones. It was really great, but
that's cool.
Since then, what we've done is that we've actually developed the same functionality for e-commerce. So that is something that still remains unreleased. We do have functionality to connect to Shopify stores, which means that user also will be available to Shopify platform. Part of what is happening at the same time, we were trying to figure out how does this piece fit with our existing user base and how is it that it really benefits everybody. And the way we think about it is that if artists on the platform, a lot of them actually sell merchandise. They sell their prints, they sell physical items. So what we wanted to do is make sure that we can release it at the right time so we can create synergy between artists minting their NFTs and then being able to offer merchandise alongside that. So that's kind of the component of sort of the being able to redeem your gems for products. We would use that as kind of like the integration with e-commerce. However, there's another element that's coming for gemstones, and this is something that we're going to be talking a lot more very, very soon, because we are, as some of you guys might have seen our tokenomics, our documentation, we are launching our token. So this is an exciting part. We're going to be launching an ERC20 token called Gem Diamond. And the way people are going to be able to get it is that if you have gemstones, you can stake them and then get ERC20 tokens. Wow. The reason why gemstone itself is not an ERC20 is because we wanted to make sure that the engagement piece in the app itself was seamless. So when you have to go into like you can go to your MetaMask and sign for transaction and do this and all, it takes a lot of time. Right now, offering gems is instantaneous, like giving a like, right?
Yes.
So we want to keep that, but at the same time, make sure that people are rewarded in actual tokens. So that's the component that will be coming soon, and I'm really excited about that.
I'm really excited too. Look, so the gems, and so, like I understood, it looks like I'm mining every day and becoming a part of rocks. It's kind of mining, and then I convert these rocks to the gems by liking. Or giving them like rocks. I'm giving them to the artists or the things what I've liked in the what I found what I liked in the in the app.
I think you can say that you can see that Tom is a big fan of Minecraft.
Yes, this is for sure. Yeah, by the way. So, but you can't use your rocks. Rocks is only for rewarding the other arts, or other medias.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. It's really cool. This really motivates people to spend their rocks.
Because if we just give people the gemstones, then they will be more incentivized.
I don't want to give. Yeah, you're
right.
Totally
but right now, everything that we designed in the app is to motivate people to kind of give them to other people, so that for the other people they can convert for something that they can use. And the same with kind of we have mining challenges in the app as well. Like you can see, that you can like. Rocks. Yeah, like you can get daily bonuses and you can level up and do that kind of stuff. So we're also adding to our avatars and next gems that we just recently launched that functionality as well. So very soon, perhaps next week, maybe.
Whoa!
We're going to be adding I'm not officially announcing anything, but just perhaps maybe we'll post the announcement in our Discord soon when we know the exact date. We'll be launching gemstone hodling rewards. So for those who have Next Gems avatars, they'll be getting kind of like a passively they will be getting some gemstones for being a hodler.
Gemstones. Wow.
Yeah.
Look, you already mentioned Next Gems, right? During the talk, many times you say Next Gems avatars. Let's move to this part. Yeah, I know there is ongoing, guys, Next Gems sale directly on the page of user. You can navigate on the web application and check. There is Next Gems event called. You can buy right now by connecting your MetaMask with half of Mover. You can buy an avatar or Next Gem. And can you please tell us about Next Gems? What's the main idea behind? They look so gorgeous, and who was an artist? This is also very.
Okay. So this is the funniest part. So I'll tell you the story of Next Gems because it's a weird one. So when all the generative projects started to kind of happen, we saw that and we were like, that'd be so cool to create our own kind of generative project as user. And we've had something that we called powers way back when, like when we first launched in like an alpha version of user, we've had something called powers. And we had this power design that was created by this illustrator ages ago. And Tom took it and he started making versions of it. So in he's doing it in XD. So we have this like giant map from like this very simple kind of like drawing, adding all these different assets, changing lines and all that stuff until it morphed into something that looked kind of like the Next Gem. And so Tom is the artist. He actually created hundreds of attributes for these. As you might have seen, also we've done exclusive collab with the Moonbeam team. So we've created Next Gems, custom Next Gems for the members of the Pure Stake team. So that was really fun. And we have done also some custom work for some influencers, like recently Mad Crypto got one as well. So so every time this happens, Tom creates additional attributes, basically. And, it's great to have such a talented designer on the team as well. Like, Tom is really a jack of all trades. I mean, we kind of all have to be in order to, do what we do with such a small team. We just kind of have to pick up everything.
You're IT artists, designers.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I put my 5 cents into that project as well, but I think the only thing that made it from what I did was the face stripes. There's like 3 stripes.
I have few Next Gems.
Yeah, so I made that.
like it.
So there's honestly, I don't even know how many hundreds of assets there are at this point. Like, when we were launching Next Gems, but I think like. The numbers, like because when you create a generative project like this, you have to truncate different attributes. So like some attributes don't appear more than a certain percentage of time. So then that way you create a rarity, right?
Change the rarity because of the creativity.
So but if we didn't do it, if we just spit up like all the results, I think the result was something in like trillion. Like, honestly, that's how many assets we have. It's insane.
Yes.
I think it's partially because Tom just keeps like fiddling with it. And
but I like it. Every gems really looks different. I like also the vampire tools. It's like cool. Also the helmet. I mean, cool.
The one of the astronaut helmet is one of my favorite attributes. I think that's really great. And then another one that I really love is like there's this like red bar across the face.
Bar is also cool. Yeah,
I like that one too.
Also, yeah, this is like cool. And the question
maybe I should tell just very briefly how Next Gems kind of tie into users. So just so everybody knows, Next Gems have functionality within our app. They were created to kind of replace, like I mentioned we have something we called powers, and they didn't work that well. We tested that for a few months and then we pulled them back because it was too confusing how it worked. But right now everybody's kind of expecting this utility out of these NFTs. Well, we already had all that stuff designed. We just needed like a vehicle to provide this to people. So there's a few different things that people will be able to get by purchasing a next gem. So as I mentioned, stone hodling rewards. Another one is profile picture verification. So being able to kind of have a different status, different ring around your avatar based on whether you have an official avatar as your profile picture. Another one is that we're actually providing a drawing files to these next gems that are going to be available for people who purchase them. That means that they will get the entire vector stack of layers that went into creating that asset. So then people can easily modify them. I personally haven't seen another project do that. I'm not saying that there isn't. I just haven't seen one. I just think it's a really cool thing because they're saying, you can get access to this and you can modify it in whatever way you want. Why not give people
what I want to have? Sure, a minimum what I want to have and a good quality picture. By the way, you can already download it right now if you navigate to your profile.
And it's pretty high res. So this one is already there. It's already high res. You can download it. You can save it on your computer. If you click on a little lock icon beside, then it will show you all the future utilities. Another one that's coming is the advertising boost as well. So being able to advertising or content boost, we call it different names. It basically means that you will be able to kind of self-promote your content for a period of time using the next gem. So that's something that we've discussed again in the past, how people who are, kind of engaged community members can boost the prominence of their content and what would be the fairest way to do it. And we thought that that would be a really cool functionality for an avatar.
Yeah, now I have got one question from my side personally. How many next gems? So if I have like more next gems in my profile or my wallet, will it be somehow multiply those features or those bonuses you just mentioned?
Yeah. So absolutely. Right now, you can buy a 5 per transaction, but that's not max of what you can have. So there's no max of how you can buy. So you can buy as many as you want, really. But yeah, so gemstone holding rewards are going to be per next gem. So if you have more, you're going to be getting more gemstones. But another thing that's going to happen is that I can't talk about it too much because this is still something in the design phase. But the way the boosts are going to work is going to be, let's just say it's not going to be the same for every next gem. Let's just leave it at that.
Thanks.
So there'll be some cool functions that we're going to be adding, but this is still in the design phase. So
it's fine for sure. If it's design phase, everything can be changed in any time. So let's do not share this information. Thanks. So yeah, cool. I'm already a hodler.
I'm too, but you know what? I think we talked about it already. Yeah. I only keep minting male next gems. I have one lady next gem.
Only one lady gems.
I'm sad. I'm just like, how many more do I have to get?
We can, for sure, we can then in the future, we can exchange them probably, or maybe you can buy and sell.
So for people who are wondering, you can already exchange them.
Yeah.
So the way to do it right now is to use your MetaMask application on mobile. So if you have an NFT, you can import a custom NFT token into your MetaMask mobile application. It doesn't work on the browser extension. It only works on the phone. So I think I posted it in a couple different places, but I can also share it. You can use the NextGem token address and then use your token ID. It's just basically the number of your token. And you can use that to import your token. If it is in your wallet, the MetaMask will recognize that and it will pull the data. The one caveat right now is that you can see it. Like if you click on it, it will show you the next gem. It will show you the description. It will show you the number. It will allow you to send it to somebody. It will not pull the picture. I've actually I've actually made bug report with MetaMask asking if it's something to do with how we store our metadata, or if something how they interact with that stuff. I would like to find out more information about it and connect our devs just so we can find out how we can make these pictures visible, because I know that the NFTs from OpenSea, for example, are visible. But again, that's Ethereum mainnet. when you are using MetaMask for Moonriver, you also have to add a different network. So there's various different things that kind of come into play. However, it works perfectly fine if you just know what avatar you're sending by number. If you can make sure that this is the right picture that you want to send, then you can send it and you can transfer it, and it works perfectly. Because I've already done it and transferred some to some people, and they were very happy.
Cool. Thanks for the trick. But anyway, it means that in the future, you probably through your platform, we also probably could move and do exchange, right? Just in the future, this feature comes to the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So right now we're in the process of finalizing some things. I know you guys know that secondary sales are coming. And what's also coming is full opening of the NFT marketplace. Not only to the next gems, because next gems are sort of like a pilot project to test our smart contracts, to learn how we can do it in a way that benefits community the best. But User is a platform for content creators, all sorts of content, original content, we welcome it. And we want to make sure that people who are posting content are able to mint it and then are able to sell it to NFT collectors. So that opening of the marketplace is going to be staggered right after we introduce the secondary sales. And we already have chat in Discord where there's a form for artists or content creators to submit themselves to participate in this kind of a smaller, more closed version of the marketplace, because we can't just launch it to everybody. We want to make sure that we can squash as many bugs as possible and that the experience is good. So we're testing it with a small portion, but right now artists can submit themselves to be within that pool.
Cool. Thank you very much. So we are waiting for your marketplace, guys, and we will use our next gems like a first NFTs on the Moonriver marketplace. Cool. Nice. And let's move to the general project topics, for example. Guys, do you have already tokenomics? You also mentioned before you're just working on it, right? Or it's already
yes. So if you have, so we have a few different sites. We have our web app, which is the user.co, and then we have a user.network, which is our B2B site. And in there, we also link to our documentation, which is in Gitbooks, and there's an entire section on our tokenomics. And that includes an outline of how gem diamonds are going to work and stuff like that. So let me just see if I can right now share a link.
Thank you very much. It would be cool.
Yeah, to everything that I'm talking about. So this is user.network. Let me just see. And I'm going to go to our docs and share that too. And yeah, so
great.
So if you go on the left side, we have protocol, token, economics, and then we have everything about the user gem diamonds, tokenomics, token allocation, token sale rounds, and treasury, governance, liquidity. So some of these sections, some of these sections are still kind of under development. Some of them just contain kind of like a brief overview, but we're adding to them as we find out more information about everything that we're working on. And right now we're in the process of closing the private token, private element of the token sale, but then there's 3 different rounds, including the public sale as well.
Cool. Okay, so look, there is another question. What the obstacles that the user has already overcome during the development, for example, or kind of attracting members to the mobile app, and for example,
Yeah. So, I mean, being in this space where you're just both trying to be sort of like a cryptocurrency platform, but also a social app, and you're trying to appeal to these both very, very different crowds, it's very hard. You're never going to make everybody happy because, you know, like when certain people are going to be like, this looks like Instagram. Why are you creating something like looks like TikTok or Instagram or something else? But this is what people understand. They understand those navigational patterns. They understand the UX, and it just so happens that our color seems to be like this, like purpley pink. At least
for me, it was very user friendly.
Yeah. So, but a lot of these decisions. Thank you for saying that, because a lot of these decisions were created with like a very established sort of UX patterns in mind to make sure that people kind of knew where to navigate. There is a lot of functionality in user that people in many apps don't have, especially when you have a team that's 8 people. That's our entire team, and we have application on iOS, Android, web, and websites, and it's still designed by a very small team, right? We have full chat app inside user as well, which is works really, really well. You can send GIFs and you can do a group chat, like all sorts of stuff like that. So there are applications that are much larger that are just, for example, a chat app, and this is like a part of just a single part of our application. There's a few different things also, like the gamification stuff, leveling up system, the challenges that you can do. Obviously there is the content creation tools that we had to kind of develop, different interactions with the cameras, those things. It's just such an immense amount of work for such a small team. So those were a lot of of the obstacles. When we started, it was really, really early, and when we were talking to a lot of people, especially us being in Canada, perhaps not the most ideal place when it comes to kind of like very crazy innovative projects. We got like a lot of people, including investors, could not kind of understand even what we were talking about in terms of NFTs. So right now when you mention, we're in the NFT space, or there is a platform that's in the NFT space, people kind of at least know a little bit what that means.
Because it's 2021. It's
2018.
Yeah, in 2018 there.
But now we are in this space where we actually have a working application, and we have all these elements where there's a few different things that we're obviously working on, trying to launch our marketplace, which is just
you are a pioneer on this area, so you're it's pretty well worked.
Yeah, it's an exciting space, and I just can't even comprehend how far we've come. Like, I did not expect. I wonder if it has something to do with the pandemic, maybe, that NFTs took off so much as well, because like everything closed off and everything shut down. Even a lot of artists that were maybe doing performance art, maybe galleries, exactly. Things just kind of like fizzled for everybody, and people started looking for other things to do, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it's like the biggest thing. It's NFTs, and I remember. It was so funny because that was a while ago. Tom started talking about NFTs. I'm like, what are you talking about, NFTs? What are you saying? And he's like, non-fungible tokens. And I'm like, why are you calling them NFTs? And he's like, this is what the internet is calling them. I'm like, okay, I didn't even know. I was just like, to me, they always were non-fungible tokens.
Non-fungible tokens. Okay, yeah. Look.
So it's just really, really interesting how this space has developed.
NFTs, to be honest, got rise the big hype this year, and you were doing you began them like for 3 years ago. It's very cool. Okay,
well, part of the reason, like also what happened back then, is that we were looking at Ethereum a lot. And I mean, there's obviously a lot of NFT marketplaces on Ethereum, and that's great. Like, I use obviously OpenSea, and there's some other great ones as well. But one thing that we've always seen as a problem with Ethereum is the gas fees. And I know there's a lot of conversations about, Ethereum 2.0 and the proof of stake and all that stuff. But like those conversations were there in 2018. You know what I mean? That like everybody was already talking about Ethereum moving to proof of stake, and it's still not there. How long are we supposed to wait for that? I don't know.
Probably
I think Ethereum is great.
4 or 5.
I think Ethereum is great. But one of the things that we got really kind of connected into the Polkadot space very early on, and we've seen I think that from perspective, like for me and Tom, we were able kind of see the bigger picture when it comes to not only just one blockchain, but interconnected ecosystems of blockchains that can all talk to each other. This has always been something that even from day one, we started talking about. We talk about blockchain and cryptocurrency and like how difficult it is to exchange one cryptocurrency for another. And those conversations back then, there's one keyword, interoperability. And people don't think about this part when it comes to internet right now, because I mean, I don't know, maybe a lot of people are younger than I am, but I remember when nothing would connect when I was a kid. Like I used to do such crazy tricks to connect things on my computer, to things on my DVD, to things on like it just nothing would ever work. And we kind of come so far when it comes to the internet. Now everything connects. You can use the same app on your desktop, on your phone. Like it's crazy. And people don't appreciate that. It's just like, okay, it's useful. Yeah, great. What do you have to do to get blockchain to that place? That's what I want to know. And for me, it's interconnected ecosystem of blockchains that can all talk to each other. That is the future. And the major kind of growth of tokens and cryptocurrency is going to come when people do not even know that they're exchanging one token for the other. They don't have to. And they can do it seamlessly, and they can do it easily, and they can tap their phone somewhere, and whatever token they had, it gets in exchange for the shopping that they're doing at the store. You know, that level of kind of interoperability and connectivity is going to come only when we have interconnected ecosystem of blockchains. Plus, we're able to remove some of the latencies that are happening right now on the network levels. And that's where like 5G comes in and all that stuff. Yeah. I can talk about it a lot, so please stop me.
No, it's very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing your minds and thoughts. Look, I'm totally on your side. We have right now a lot of different ecosystem blockchains, which one day we have to connect, and those bridges what we see right now, they are fine, but still you have some problem. You need to think, okay, I'm converting one assets to another assets, I'm becoming the tokens, wrap tokens, and so on. Probably in the future we can do it much easily. Thank you very much. So, and by the way, how do you launch or do you plan? I know that you are launching on the Moonriver, right? So does it mean that your platform marketplace will be launching also on the Moonbeam?
Yeah.
So you just can change the networks and use your marketplace, right?
Yeah. So we're planning to eventually launch on Moonbeam as well. We are still, I mean, I don't see any of this as kind of like final thing that we're doing. There's a reason why there's all these different experimental networks. There's even testnets, and then you go to a Moonriver, which is also kind of like you would think maybe a testnet to Moonbeam. So it's like all these different upgrades, all these layers. But the reason for that is because blockchain has that kind of more immutable structure. So you have to kind of test your environments, and you have to make sure that you're providing the best utility for the community. And that only comes from practice. That only comes from failing and learning from your failures, and from making mistakes and fixing them and pushing something that's even better to the community. And by the virtue of blockchain and everything being so public, you kind of have to learn publicly and have to show people what kind of like your infrastructure is made out of. So I understand this kind of like layered approach. We are launching the marketplace first on Moonriver. However, Moonbeam is going to be launching not soon after, and we're going to be ready as well to deploy on Moonbeam. What future will bring, who knows?
I hope to see your marketplace covering the all blockchains.
Well, I want to see like where it will take us in a sense, because we've had some conversations about like our own parachain, for example, as well with the parity team. So that might be a road for us. We still don't know. It's not something that, we're committing to or anything like this, but we're having those conversations just to see if this is perhaps something that would be a right route for us. Because we created this gem reward system as kind of, as it's its own thing. So right now we have user, which is what we like to think about user as a flagship application that uses this GEM system. But the moment the entire system is live, we're going to have an API. So, and we already have applications that ask us if they can use our GEM system to be used in their applications. People don't want to develop this from scratch. It's taken years.
For sure.
So, but there's a lot of interest in plugging into this kind of reward mechanism. So that's kind of where we're looking to bring user in the future, to have an open API that people can connect and that they can take advantage of that ecosystem, the GEM rewards, and also the users, and being able to incentivize those users in various different ways.
Cool. Thank you very much. Look,
I see there's a question here on the side. Can I answer this question? Because that's really important to me. So I see here 14 minutes ago from SLDK. Do you think the user application will remain a platform for artists and designers, or will it eventually turn into a new Instagram with ordinary photos? So the interesting thing about Instagram is that it actually started as, again, as you guys probably know, as an art kind of platform. It started with photographers, and then it kind of, blew up because there's a lot of different types of content creators that, want to share their photos if they see that they can get sort of, online famous or whatever from doing that. What we envision for user is a little bit more, I like to think about this. I like to look at some of what other platforms are doing. I understand that our interface kind of looks like Instagram, but there's a lot of things in the works that are more designed to fragment user in a sense. And that means creating different hubs and different communities so that people can actually take ownership of these communities and develop them in the way that they see fit. And I see one of the platforms that does that really well is, for example, Reddit, where you have your different subreddits, you have your different communities, you have your different moderators, and they can take that community and they can incentivize people to post the type of content that they want to see and boost engagement around that particular type of content. When it comes to platforms for different types of content, I think that is a better way of doing it. And partially because what happens with something like Instagram when that segmentation is not happening is that there's a huge oversaturation of content. So for example, on Instagram right now, about 70% of content doesn't even get seen. It's just essentially posted in a vacuum. And that when we were designing user and designing like how, our hot feeds should work and how all these different feeds and all these different communities should work, we really wanted to focus on making sure that various content creators could be represented. And we see that as something there's always a chance that this is going to happen. When you grow a lot, there's going to be different people that will come to your platform, and you cannot control this. You can't say like, no people who do this, like if somebody wants to keep posting cat photos and they see that they're going to get a lot of engagement, they're going to come, and then everybody else is going to be blasted with these cat photos even though they don't want to see them, right? So it's a balancing act, and the only way that you can kind of know if your solution is working is to try it out. So right now we have something in works that we're going to be launching at some point. At this point, because of everything that we're doing right now, it's probably going to be next year. And also we're still quite small, so it's not as big of a concern to give people opportunity to take ownership of their communities. So that's kind of cool. What we want to do.
Super. Looking forward for it, really.
Thank you.
And by the way, you're talking about a lot of stuff are going on in the future, and we want like in a community participate already on the early stage. And for exactly this purpose, you are probably have the ambassador program as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can participate already. And for example, me personally, I would love to try an early version of your marketplace and try to make any tests to communicate with your smart contract and so on.
We'll tell you something. So next week, so the ambassadors will be able to test on Moonbase Alpha, we think next week.
Great.
So that's the testing. It's gonna still be some time because who knows how the testing is going to go, if we're going to need a lot of revisions. But right now the test is getting set up. We already have internally people testing, like our team. But they have to make sure that they figure out all kind of like the most common issues. Like there's always things like with the UX and stuff like that kind of pop up when you're trying to do different like actions. So, but we do have a Moonbase Alpha testnet set up. So I'm sure and you participate in that, and some other people did as well, testing the minting of next gems. And now we are adding basically to the testnet the elements of the marketplace that will be up for testing, and that includes secondary sales for next gems and stuff like that. So that is all getting ready, I think, next week for the testing.
Great. So
and that's open for ambassadors. So if you, if anybody here wants to be our ambassador, please submit and have patience, because I am the person reviewing that form. And even though I have ambassadors helping me, there's a huge backlog. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had one question also in the list. Hey, I was applying to the ambassador program and still waiting for response. So
I know, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I just need more time in, like, I need more, like maybe 48 hours instead of 24 in a day. I don't know at this point, honestly. We need to have more people on the team. And this is partially why still we're, invite only and still smaller platform that, perhaps we could be, because it all takes time in terms of like bringing people into the, user team and making sure that they know how to do these different things, and then growing the team. And we have to do these things kind of in sync. But yeah, like I'm managing the ambassador program, and my apologies that people are still not getting verified for this, because for the last, like we've been talking about Miami, we're trying to do so much in terms of making sure that our presence there is actually like, boosting the user community, boosting next gems, and just really giving the most kind of value to everybody who's part of this ecosystem. And it takes a very long time to schedule all these meetings, schedule everything that's happening there, and coordinate with everybody. And yes, it's
totally not enough 24 hours. In the crypto, 24 hours, it's just the morning time.
Yeah. I should think about it like this. But remember, I also have a child, right? Like, I thought I was busy. I thought I was busy before. I didn't know what busy was. I didn't. I honestly
can't imagine. Okay. Okay. I will answer the one question here as well. What kind of roles do we have in the ambassadors or in the ambassador program? Guys, we have apprentice, ambassador, and senior ambassador. Just help Eunika a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
How can apprentices and ambassadors help the project, and which the contribution are more valuable for the project? That's the next question.
Right now, a lot of these things are still kind of getting finalized. As I mentioned, I would like to bring the ambassador program to kind of like a stable place where it's people understand exactly what to do. But I still haven't been even able to get out the brand guidebook, which I'm working on right now as well. It's another component. So that includes a lot of this type of information. But a few different things, some of the most helpful things for us, I think, have been people literally taking ownership of various different elements, coming to me and saying, I want to do this. And I'm like, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Please do. So this is how it happened. We have a Russian Telegram. We have a Russian Twitter now. We have a Spanish Telegram as well. We've had ambassadors set up our Reddit. We have ambassadors setting up our like verifications in Discord and different roles and stuff like that. So what I see as the best right now, just because I am myself a bottleneck in this system, is people coming to me with ideas and I can say, yes, this sounds amazing, please, let's do it. And then having community members actually executing those ideas. Whenever there's a situation like, for example, I've had ambassadors wanting to contribute to translations, and I think that that's amazing. However, for me to get the entire setup in Git books for translations, it's been like getting passed off on the list of my things, because this is something that I have to do. Like I have to clone the entire thing. I have to set it up. I have to add more people. And it's been just, when I am a bottleneck right now, those are the things that get pushed kind of towards the end. And this is partially also why people are still waiting for responses, because I was the only person kind of verifying people in Discord, and I am a little bit swamped right now.
I can imagine. Look, we need to help you somehow.
Please do. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, guys. So you heard, right? If you have any ideas, if you have any wishes to how to can you can contribute or help to the project, right, Eunika? Find maybe senior ambassadors to give a little bit Eunika
Mhm.
fresh
Yeah.
air that she can maybe a little bit rest with your ideas. Maybe you want to run kind of Twitter events or
Mhm.
maybe Twitter threads or any
Mhm.
shout in the networks. Please do
Mhm.
it. Go,
Mhm.
we will help you. Yep.
Absolutely. So yeah, everything, like I've seen a lot of community members. For example, there was recently a thread that was created by major influencers, and there was a lot of people posting in that thread, answering questions, spreading a message about how User is a great app, and those kinds of things where the engagement really is genuine, and people are saying things because they kind of know the applications, and they know the team. I feel like they have the most kind of weight, because it also helps with spreading the message about how this is a positive community and everybody is kind of contributing. So I want to also give a shout out to everybody who's been, staying engaged in our Discord and our Twitter. It really helps with the engagement, and also on the User app itself. There's so much amazing content that's getting posted, so much cool artwork, and people are chatting there and connecting with each other. It's so great for us to actually see that and see that people are getting so much value out of posting their artwork and just waiting until the marketplace is going to launch. And I'm just so happy that this is the case. This is something that we've been working on for years, so feels good.
Thank you for building such nice community.
Thank you so much.
So, the community is already excited about the project and the applications, me personally, and on the current stage. But maybe you can look a bit forward on the future plans. We know already that comes marketplace. We will have token. We will have the different way of the staking, like I understood as well. So probably we would have some new cool stuff. But do you have kind of, I know this is like crypto, yeah, but maybe do you have the one of the question we become 2 years ahead plans such for
Yeah,
such
for
long
sure.
period?
So part of why I already kind of hinted at this in like a few minutes ago, but User is just the beginning. It's
Yep.
this kind of flagship application that we're developing, and we're creating this entire kind of gamification system. So we call it gamification, but literally what it is taking the same sort of principles that are found in blockchain, using economic principles and game theory to design a system where people feel rewarded for participation. And they're actually rewarded in a sense. It's not just a feeling of you getting a like. It's literally that, if you are spending so much time and putting so much effort into a certain platform, that you get something in return, which is, those tokens, and you're able to actually earn a living that way, which is what everybody in the kind of cryptocurrency space wants. So we've been building this entire system for years at this point, not only for the User app. We've been building it so that one day it can be its own thing and it can start connecting other applications. So as I mentioned, doing an open API where other applications can connect to the gem reward system, and they can take advantage of that system. That's kind of where we want to take it, and make sure that they can get access to usership, because this is also solving a problem that we've seen as a kind of like a young platform. When you try to create an app and you say like social app, well, first thing that you're going to see from everybody is that you're crazy. Because why would you ever want to compete with Facebook? Why, how can you even do that, right? So
Easy.
years ago, where literally everybody was thinking that Facebook is the end all, we were telling, no, there's already apps that are getting so much momentum because older people are now in Facebook. These things gentrify, like anything else, there's rotation. That's why there was Snapchat. That's why there's TikTok now. That's why there's more and more coming. We need to decentralize this entire platform ecosystem. there is not just one platform to rule them all. That is a bad mistake, because you need competition in the system in order to provide the best possible solution for your end user. If you are the only platform, no matter how good your intentions are, there's like things always go south. That's how I see it. You need somebody else to be on the other end doing something better than you, so that you have it in yourself to make a better ecosystem for your end users, because that's the reason why they're going to use it. So for us, designing this reward mechanism is to benefit developers that are creating apps and the end users, and allowing them to connect with each other and use that reward mechanism that we're creating to connect these two groups. Which means that if we have a big usership at some point in the future, then developers want to use the gemstone reward system, they can incentivize these end users. Oh, do you want to try my app? Maybe you like it. Using the gemstone system, you can try it, you can get rewarded, and if you like my app, then you can stay on it, right? No matter what it does. So that is kind of the future of this reward mechanisms that we're creating.
Thank you, Eunika. Thank you for repeating, and to be honest, also make some things clear for me. Great. And the last question, do you have any ideas? The question, by the way, also came up in the chat somewhere. A kind of partnerships. Do you have already kind of some partnerships, or maybe future ideas with the partnerships? And I know that you have minimum one. It's kind of the Moonbeam, which is the official partnership of the user, and maybe we have more. Can you please share?
Yeah. So right now, we, like you say, we're one of the community partners with Moonbeam, which is the blockchain that we're on, Moon River Moonbeam. And we are looking to partner with more projects that are within the Polkadot ecosystem. We're very engaged in growing that ecosystem. And we already have, there's other projects within sort of Moonbeam, Moon River system, and then another ones that are deployed maybe on other blockchains that we were looking to partner with. There's some conversations that are kind of more further along. There's some that are just kind of starting out, but we're definitely looking forward to partnering with these projects. I can't talk too much about, because there's nothing that's totally final, but we will be putting up press releases as these things get announced. Part of the reason also why, we're heading down to Miami, we know there's also a lot of projects that are going to be there. We're scheduling meetings with a lot of people and a lot of projects, and we're looking forward to, having these meetings and seeing what comes out through that. We've been cooped up in our space for a number of years now because of COVID and things like this. So we're looking forward to being able to network again and develop those relationships with some of these projects. So, but yeah, I think that it's going to be really good for us to make sure that we're able to partner with other projects especially in the Polkadot ecosystem, because I think that this is something like we all have a kind of vested incentive in growing this space, and I think it's going to be really good.
Good, thank you very much. Look, I'm really, guys, wish you in a great event in the Miami, and I hope you'll.
Thank you. I see there's already somebody in the chat saying they want to go to Miami.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, please.
I also
nice
want
weather.
to.
Not like here.
Nice weather, right? Eunika, thank you very much for your time. I think the all questions already answered what I've prepared. You also answered some questions on the list from the chat. Once more, thank you, and wish you everything good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This was such a nice chat. You have a very nice manner, of like interviewing. It just makes another person feel very comfortable. And thank you so much for inviting me and organizing this. I really enjoyed it.
Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. I don't know what time is right now for you, but
it's 1:14.
1:14. It's already evening at my place. So,
but I head to bed.
Yeah, I have to go to bed. So have a nice day and weekend.